Hey, this is Matt once again. We're back to another video. And before I go on, I know a few people were asking me about this. City, Baja, a few others. And I just because, now that I think about it, I might have reviewed all of the other VHS films, I think. And I don't think I've done commentaries. There's one I did with my friend Mike on the first one because we hated it so much, but I don't even know if that commentary is still up. But I'm rambling. This is a paid request. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for the lateness of it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get these out as soon as I can, but thank you, people, for your generosity and your patience. And if anyone wants to request any other type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, tier lists, rankings, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. Now, this is, I think, the 8th VHS film, which is crazy that we have 8 of these movies now. 8 of them. And do I mind that they keep making them? Honestly, no, because I'm hoping to at least have 1 or 2 segments worth of crap. Because then when it's all said and done, I could just edit my own ultra mega VHS with the ones I like. Which, I mean, that'd be actually cool to do. Take all of them, just take all the segments I like and then put them together. Granted, if it's longer, I don't know what to use as a wraparound, but I don't know. To be honest, the wraparounds are like the least interesting part, so there'd be no wraparounds, maybe. I don't know. But, okay. The first VHS I hated. I despise. It's probably still to be the worst one. I called it very horrible shit for a reason. Because I despise the first one. I think the first one is garbage. Fucking garbage. The second one I do like. I like especially the one done by these 2 directors. One of them did the Raid Redemption. That's the one with the cult and this crazy stuff happens where they're all shooting themselves, and it's like almost a take on Jonestown, the Asian kind though. And trying to remember, there was the bicycle zombie. One of the guys who did Blair Witch did that. I thought that was interesting to see like a zombie point of view, where a guy's turned to a zombie. Again, fresh, different take on it. I'm not going to go through specifics on the rest because it's too damn many. But I remember like the third one, Viral. The only one I liked was Bone Storm, with the skateboarders fighting the possessed, like these creatures. It's like a skate park. I thought that was just fun. Just beating the shit out of these things, killing them with their firecrackers or their skateboards. I thought it was just a fun action romp. But that's the only one I liked in that. And then it gets confusing because they keep going all over the place with the years. At least they did at first. Because it was, I think, 94. Which I think that one was the one. There was one segment that was like, I don't know, something reminded me of Doom. I think that was the one. Then there was 99. And I don't remember much about that one. And then there was 85. I thought 85 was one of the best ones, honestly. I thought 85 was, especially, was a dream kill. The one done by the guy who did Delivers from Evil and the Black Phone, that was really good. And then, like, 85 I thought was probably the best or the second best after the second one. The last one, VH is Beyond. The first story may be my favorite segment in all of them. Stork, because it was like a military group or cops. It's been, I didn't, there's so many of them, it's hard to, but they're going to this house and shit gets real and it's like run and gun, first person shooter, and then there's this crazy fucking monster, and an ending that was nice of a surprise, considering how these usually end. Like, that was so refreshing. And sadly, there's not one story here that was at all as good as that. And the one with the plane, where there's like, there's skydivers, that I didn't mind for the some spectacle at the beginning. I didn't mind that. Can't remember the, again, I'd have to, who knows, maybe I'll get requested commentaries or something. Can you imagine a tier list ranking all this segment? Man, that'd be tough. But I'm rambling. I'm like 6 minutes in, but Veach's Halloween came out this year. That's why it says 2025 in the title. I know, no shit. I wasn't big on this one. I really wasn't. As a piece of paper. Oh, just little pieces here. Like, who gives a shit? See, that's how I'm interested to pick up pieces of paper from a fucking shirt. This, I wasn't big on. There's a few bits I didn't mind. It's funny, I did the stream, and a friend of my stuntman, Mark, he had seen this, like, oh, this is a total piece of shit. I'm like, damn. So I definitely want to ask him about this. Maybe this Friday I'll ask him. I don't think it's a total piece of shit. I don't. I do think there's a couple stories that are interesting and kind of fun. It has a bit of gore and grisly dark humor that I could appreciate. There's not a segment I absolutely loved, but there's some segments I didn't mind. I don't know where the hell I would rank this. Again, I do think it's better than the first one. It's way better than the first one. I still say the second one was better. Consistent wise, I would say it's better than Viral, because Viral has one that I really like, and the rest are kind of lame. And the wraparound's lame. Here, the wraparound is actually kind of fun. It's pretty funny. This probably has the best wraparound, just in terms of it being fun. Trying to think. 94 and 99, I don't remember a whole lot about. 85, I would put above this. Beyond, I would put above this. So, it's at least in the middle, or maybe a little bit lower. It's somewhere in there, middle or lower. Just don't eat the wraparound. The reason I said it's my favorite, I like the concept where these scientists are creating this diet soda, but they're using poltergeists. And then each time we have like a story and it wraps up, it goes back to these scientists doing these tests where people go in and they drink the soda. And each time they drink the soda, something different happens. That's pretty graphic, and they use, I didn't notice any CG. It's mostly practical effects. And it's just fun to see what's going to happen next, what's grisly thing's going to happen next. And then the scientist, which for split second I thought the lead guy was scientist was Sharlto Copley from District 9. It's not. But man, when I looked at it, the side of his face, I'm like, he looks like him, but it's not. You tell by his voice and stuff. I kind of wish they did get him. That would be even funnier. Which I'll get to that when I get into spoilers. And then the stories, there's the one where the two Well, do I want to go into them? You know what? Spoilers. It's VHS 8. Okay, you're either going to see it or not. If you saw the last 7, you're going to see this for curiosity's sake. So I'm going to spoil it starting now. It's just easier for me to do it that way. So the wraparound, let me get back to that. So like one person drinks it and these tentacles come up and fuck up his face. One little kid drinks it. Oh, this is tasty. May I have another? As soon as he opens it, and the kid explodes. There's one where there's 2 people and one gets acid to the face. Which that looked better than the shit they did on Alien Earth. There was an episode where a guy gets acid on his face, but it looks like someone creamed on his face, had a bukkake on his face. Here, it's more grisly and practical and graphic. I'm like, how come they did it better here? But one, like a pop tab threw off into her mouth and get the idea that came out of the back of her head. One, it seems like it went fine, but the person got possessed. There's all these different things that happen. And then the scientists, the way they react, and especially the lead guy, and it's like, that was kind of fun. I like that. Then we get into the stories. The first story I thought was lame. I thought it was the shits. And it reminded me of that film Barbarian. Although I would even say Barbarian was better than it, because Barbarian at least had a good first half. It's just the second half went to the shit. But here is Coochie Coochie 2. These 2 ladies, they're pretty grown. They're getting ready to graduate high school. They're going to do one last time trick-or-treating. They're unlikable twits and twats because they're stealing kids' candy and doing other stupid shit. So I'm like, why should I care about them? The kids warn them about the mommy witch. They're also very stupid because they see a house pop out of nowhere and they think, where did that come from? I'm like, because it popped out of fucking nowhere. And you're not, that's strange. And then a creepy hand comes out and does this and then disappears through the doorway. I don't care if it's Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays, or Happy Hanukkah Day. I'm going to a house that some creepy ass bitch does this. Okay, unless she comes out and she's naked and she looks hot. And it's, a brothel. Then, if I got enough money, then I'll go in and have a good time and happy endings for all. Then I'll do it. Otherwise, fuck that shit. But they go in because they're stupid. Granted, the one didn't want to go in and the other went in. So the other went in after a friend. I'd be like, friends could go a long way, but, sometimes there's a limit. So then they get trapped in this house. Because it's the mommy witch. It's a witch with 6 titties. And they see all this stuff. So they see victims and their faces are bloated like they're babies. There's milk on the floor. There's this little teeny fetus. So a woman has a gas mask with milk being put into her mouth. Which I don't understand, we can't help you. I'm like, there's a tube. Just pull the fucking tube. There's a milk and a tube and with a gas mask. I'm like, just pull the fucking tube. That way the milk won't keep going in there. Just pull the fucking tube or something. Or grab something, just cut the tube or something. But, whatever. They find a cheerleader who was a victim that went missing. They try to help her and she just, mama, mama. I'm like, okay, this isn't scary. It comes off as goofy, stupid. I don't think it's meant to be a funny ha ha. Some of them are. This I don't think is. And it reminds me of Barbarian because the monster also had the titties and here's the milk and wanted to be a mama, whatever. Mamacita. Mama said knock you out. And long story short, one of them gets injured, hears a lullaby, goes to sleep. The witch drags her away. The lead is trying to get out. Then I guess says fuck it, gives up. Maybe also because of the lullaby, she starts lying on her head on the mama witch's lap. And she just starts saying her lullaby, and then it ends. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. It's dumb, it's goofy, it's silly, it's not scary. It's weird, but... And again, it's not as original because... I guess you have to get fucking Barbarian. Which, it wasn't a witch in Barbarian, but the whole mama monster thing. I'm not steered by milk. I'm not Dolph Lundgren from fucking... What was that fucking shitty John Woo movie? Blackjack? I'm not fucking Dolph Lundgren from Blackjack. I'm not steered of milk. Which, okay, the idea in that film was that he was blinded by this flash of white. So when he sees the color white, he gets scared. So at one point, milk splashes and he freezes. Fucking stupid, you know. Disappointing John Woo film, by the way. Cool opening. That's it. It was a pilot for a show that they didn't do the show. Anyway, that's a whole other tangent. So that I thought sucked. So then the second story. Second story. The second story was all about nothing. It was all build up, and the payoff is, The build up was it's in Madrid, so you don't have to be reading some subtitles. These folks were found after a party, dead with their eyes taken. So the cops are interviewing this guy. I'll cut back to footage of the party where they're in this place where a medium used to live who could talk to the dead. And there's this writing on the wall, which they read out, as above, so below. Which, that's a good movie. I'll get to that. Anyway, there's a phone. The phone rings after the guy said the phrase that was on the wall, picks up the phone, listens, starts convulsing. It cuts away, goes back to the guy being interrogated by the cops. The cops take him to the scene of the crime, tell us what happened. The phone rings again. It's answered. The guy convulses, and the people float to the ceiling. Because we all float down here. So the guy goes to the door and he enters as above, so below. You know what? As above, so below, I want to rewatch that film. Or do a commentary or something. Because I quite like that movie. I do. I think that's a very good film. I think that's a very underrated film. It's one of the better found footage movies. One of my favorites in that genre. And I'll go watch that film. That film was so much better. And there's a part where you're like here, but then you're up here. It was actually, I thought, more clever in that movie than it was in this. And just the payoff is he takes an eyeball, which didn't look that great because you could tell there was CG additions to it. And then they fall, which is also hampered with, I don't know how to explain it, but you tell like when someone falls, there's a little bit in between that you tell is CGI'd, because it's trying to have a fall and then it's got to match the person falling the rest. So they probably have a dummy, or they have a CG thing, maybe a dummy, and then the person just goes, phew. But they need something in between the kind. So it's like, so it doesn't look natural. I don't know how to describe it, but I've seen it in other stuff where they kind of fall, but it just looks a bit of digital fakery. I noticed that, so it takes me out of the scene. That's what I'm getting at. Maybe I'm the only one that notices that. But I'm like, really? I mean, yeah, the idea of eyeball, but you see pretty much just one, and I mean, there are plenty of films that did that better, much better. So I don't think the payoff was worth it. Up until then, the story wasn't that interesting. The characters you don't give a fuck about. So if you don't care about the characters, the setup is just kind of meh. The payoff is eh. So that story I thought sucked it too. Now, the third story I thought was one of the better ones. Fun size. These 4 adults go trick-or-treating, and there's a thing that says take 1 candy per person. And they see, wow, it's this very unique candy you never heard of before. So, I mean, part of me is like, yeah, I would have been curious to see what this candy was. And there's one candy that's chocolate and looks like a dick. And they have fun with that. But one of them takes 2 pieces of candy, just grabbed, they're all sucked into this parallel dimension, where this person and this like candy mascot are chasing these 4 in this warehouse. And then he could also do these magical things, so one of them gets put on this conveyor belt, and you see them chopped to pieces, and chopped more and more into candy-sized pieces, and then you see that there's caramel and chocolate put onto them, so you find out that's the candy served out in front, that you only supposed to take 1. And there's a sense of humor to it with the way the people react. Like, she's seen her boyfriend get chopped, is like, that's so gross. Like, that type of thing of humor. So, as a grisly tone, but a darkly humorous tone. And they'll look at the candy mascot, and then he has like a little guy, as if he's raising the plane boss, the plane, the candy boss, the candy. He has a little guy with him too, that also has like a mascot suit. And like they cut his hand off, and I think like gumballs or something shoot out, and it regrows. It has high-pitched voice. One has like a hose stuck up her ass, and gumballs explode. It looks like a practical, like the face, and these gumballs just shoot out. So, I mean, that's some funny stuff to it. There's some good pieces of gore to it. I don't mind the look of the mascot. For, again, something that's supposed to be funny. It's not supposed to be taken serious. I don't mind it. The characters, though, again, these characters, like, do I really care? No, if they live or die. Because you don't get enough time to really get to give a shit. And something about the guy wants to marry the girl, and she said yes, but now she's having second doubts. And so at one point, they're on a conveyor belt, ready to be sawed up. And he's like, will you marry me? And she says, I do not. And she's trying to get out, and the guy's like, huh? And then he gets chewed up, and then she escapes. She escapes, but she doesn't just make a run for it. She has to fucking stop, 2 feet away from where she escaped to try to take off the wedding ring. So I'm like, well, okay, you get what you deserve. Because it's kind of shitty of you. And then she gets, I guess her head crushed because the mascot's in front of her and he does this. Hello? Or I forget what the hell he said. Candy? What'd he say? I forget. He does this and then you see blood spray out. I'm like, well, okay. She got what she deserved, so. At least go the fuck home if you want to take your damn ring off. But I mean, I thought that was fun for what it needed to be. Is it one that I would rewatch over and over again? No. Would I rewatch this again? Sure. Maybe in the big, fan-made anthology, maybe I put this in. Because it's a entertaining enough idea. And there are moments that make me chuckle. There's some moments of gore that make me go, oh shit, I didn't expect. It's not every day you expect someone's face to explode and a bunch of gumballs shoot out. So I liked that. That's one of the few I liked in this. Kid print. That one is so tonally different from this. It didn't feel like it fit. Because the mommy goes with the titties, the fun size, how kind of goofy, funny, gory the wraparound is. Even the next one, Home Haunt, which probably my favorite of all here, which again is more of kind of a fun type of thing. This one was really, really dark. Really, really had a disturbing vibe to it. And it's weird to say it's a tonal shift because it's horror, but it was just so, like, over here that I think some people could feel a bit of whiplash in a way. So it takes place in 1992 in a town where all these child and teenage, but also little kids are being abducted, found dead, and there's this store that does these little documentaries. So I guess if someone goes missing, they could grab this video and show it on the news so they don't just have an old picture. And I'm like, okay, just take a new picture. Or what about, okay. So one goes missing and a cop goes, can you go and get the tape you made, so we'll put it out there and see what happens. He goes back and he finds out that one of his co-workers is the killer. And there's all these screens where the killer was watching various kids being murdered. Some of them being skinned. Like the skin being ripped off the arm. Kids, I mean, like I say, it's a creepy idea. The guy who played the killer, Bruce, I thought he did a good job because he had the few bits that you see, like he's trying to talk nice to the kids and trying to be friendly like a child predator would, and then, killed some of these. But the way it ended was just so not for me. The killer knocks out the lead guy, has him on the ground, put like some skin on him, like someone's face on him. These other two almost victims, like they're injured, they see the guy and they automatically think, you must be working with the killer. And I'm sitting there going, what makes you think that? Like, he's on the ground, he's bloodied up, and you just automatically think he's one of the killers. Like, you know who the killer was because you saw his face. So they just killed the lead guy out of fucking stupidity. Then the two go around the corner, you hear them die off screen. And then the lead guy gets framed for it. But I'm sitting there going, how long is this frame going to happen? I mean, how long is this frame up going to last? Because now the killer's taking over the documentary thing, kid print. He's like, I'm here for the children. But I'm like, he's going to continue this, so kids are going to disappear, and they're going to realize, oh shit, wait a minute. This is the same thing going on. The guy who we thought did this, the killings are still going on, unless they stupidly think it's a copycat. Or, wait a minute, all the kids that went to kid print are disappearing, and they're... Fox Mulder and Dana Scully could solve this case in less than 10 minutes. I'm just saying. So some of the ideas are pretty creepy, to be fair. I didn't mind the acting involved and the rough VHS quality like the other stories. It just... It's not meant to be fun. I did it, that's the purpose. It just... I didn't care for it. It felt like a tonal whiplash considering the other stories, and it just... I don't know. It's not meant to be entertaining, but it just, the ending I thought was just lame. And I don't know. Maybe it also seems like a story that needed a bit more time to develop. No pun intended, because it's kid print. But I mean, it felt like a story that needed a bit more time and room to breathe as well. So, overall, wasn't big on that one. And the last one I did like, where we see footage of this guy making these haunted house attractions with his kid and how much the kid was into it. But now the kid's much older and he's tired of doing this. And I thought the acting in here was pretty good. I thought the older teen, I could understand his kind of, I'm tired of this shit. I need to do other things. And, I could, in a way, relate to him. So I thought the older teen, they cast him well. I didn't mind I don't know if it was his dad or his stepdad, but I didn't mind him. I didn't mind the mom. I guess dad, because there's a bit where the teen's like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to find decorations for your Halloween attraction. Then he comes out and the dad's like, oh, you changed your mind? He's like, no, mom's better at blackmail than you are. And so they're looking for stuff. The dad steals a record. And then the kid's like, oh, so you stealing now? Oh, I left her some money. She's not going to notice. So then they have this haunted attraction. And Rick Baker has a cameo, which I did not expect. I'm like, oh shit, it's Rick Baker. Course, who did Harry and the Hendersons and American Werewolf in London and various other famous pieces of makeup effects. And an Indian group of people go on this haunted house attraction, but because the record is played, the record is cursed, and the haunted house attractions come alive. I thought it was cool, like the classic, white ghosts, the sheets of ghosts with the black eyes. They come alive and one of them kills Rick Baker because it wraps him around, and then you see like the blood coming out of his eyes and mouth as if it's like squeezing him like a juicer. One kid gets fucking ripped apart. One gets like her head cut in half. The mom kills a monster with a fucking axe. This I thought was the best one. This is the one where I kind of wish was. Usually in these VHS films for me, I try to pick one to go, what's one that I would go, I'd see that as a movie. Like beyond easily Stork. If you keep the ending and the pacing, Stork I would see as a movie. Bone Storm and Viral, yes, I would see that as a movie. 85, maybe the one Scott Derrickson did, I would see that as a movie. This is one I would pick. Where this shit happens, and then at the end, the three have to find a way to stop. Because the very last shot is the actual outside monitor of the haunted house attraction kind of becoming alive as if he's going to be like a crazy, I don't want to say Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but this is like a green monster that cuts away. Ah, man, I want to see more, see what happens, and maybe find a way to stop this. Because as far as I know, the three characters we followed are alive. Because they make it out, and then a witch steals the one kid's camera. And it goes around, and she like rips a kid's jaw off, and she impales a kid and flies off with him until he falls. I'm like, God damn. So that one was, I thought, of the stories, it had the best characters. I liked the haunted house attraction aspect to it. It had some fun gore, had certain energy to it, and it was cool to see Rick Baker in there. So that I thought was the best one. That was easily the best story in the whole thing. But that's, and so I didn't mind the wraparound. I didn't mind Fun Size. I didn't mind Home Haunt. But Kid Print, the Madrid one, the Mommy Ghost one, I keep thinking I'm missing one. So, if I add in the wraparound, that means there's 3 I liked and 3 I didn't like. So it's a fucking tie, I guess. Or doing Dane signs. Doing Dane signs. Let me check something real quick. I gotta check, what was VHS 99 again? I gotta look at these stories. Sorry, I'm reading silently. Okay, you know what? VHS 99 did suck dick. I'm remembering now these stories. That sucked ass. So this was better than 99. So I would say the first one and 99 are the worst ones to me. This was better than those. I'm not big on it, but I'm not going to call it a piece of shit either. Like I say, it goes kind of middle to less I'd have to look at... Okay, now, let me look at 94 now. I'm sorry, I gotta... Because I don't remember much... So, I know it's... I like this more than 99. 94... Storm Drain, okay. Empty Wake. The Subjet, I liked that. That was going to remind me of Doom. Oh, the White Supremacist Group and the Vampire. Okay, that one sucked too. Maybe not as much as 99, but that sucked as well. No wonder I didn't remember those fucking movies. Okay, so 2 or 85 are my favorites. Then Beyond. $2.85, one of those. Then Beyond. Then I guess this one. So I guess this would be in the... Well, I guess actually it would be in the middle, because out of 8 it'd be number 4. So there you go. There you go. Says I'm not big on it, but I don't think it's a total piece of shit, so... Yeah. Take that for you will. Thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later. I don't know. Maybe part of me is like it's okay, but I'm not big on it. Mixed. So I guess mixed. Fuck it. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.